All right. Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And this time, it is going to be a heated one.
Oh, yeah.
Because we are talking about the MVP race, and
Yeah.
specifically two players,
Mm-hmm.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
It's a good one this year.
You know, it's late January,
Yeah.
the season's in full swing, and, every year there's always, a few guys that kind of rise to the top of that MVP conversation. But these two, it is a tight race. And I'm excited to dive in because you sent me a whole stack of articles
Yeah.
that
a lot of stuff.
expert takes.
Yeah.
Even a little bit of Shaq,
Yeah.
thrown in his 2 cents.
Always got to have Shaq.
Always got to have Shaq. So
Of course.
we are going to go beyond the basic stats here.
Yeah.
And really see what's fueling this, very close race.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see, because like you said, there's so much data, there's so many expert opinions, and then you have, the Shaq narrative as well.
Yeah.
The fun, personality part of it, which you can't really quantify,
Yeah.
but it definitely plays a role
Yeah.
in the whole discussion.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think one of the first things that struck me looking at all this is how different their paths have been
Mm-hmm.
to, to superstardom, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
You look at Jokic.
Right.
He was a second-round pick.
Second round pick, nobody.
Nobody even.
What was he, 41st?
I think he was 41st, yeah.
Yeah, so an afterthought for a lot of teams.
A total steal for the Nuggets.
Right, total steal.
And now you look at him,
Yeah.
and he is just, leading in these advanced stats like player efficiency rating.
He's leading the league in a lot of those.
It just goes to show the development,
Yeah.
the work that goes in. Even if you have the natural talent, there's so much that factors into reaching this level.
Yeah, it's the work you put in after you get drafted, and he's a prime example of that.
Right. And then you've got SGA,
Yeah.
top 10 pick, kind of had that more, traditional rise.
Right.
But what's blowing my mind is he's on pace to join Michael Jordan
Oh, wow.
in a super exclusive club.
Okay.
We're talking potentially the second player ever to average at least 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block while shooting over 50%.
Goodness gracious.
That's video game numbers.
Those are video game numbers. Wow.
So that's nuts.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about that, too, is the fact that the Thunder are actually doing well.
Yeah.
And it brings up the question of, how much does team success play into it?
Right.
How
How much just can he get it over a guy like Jokic just because the Thunder are overperforming or exceeding expectations, and he's such a huge part of that.
And they're sitting at the top of the West right now?
You're sitting at the top of the West.
That's crazy.
Which is insane.
It's crazy. So, that's definitely something to consider.
It's a big question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can it outweigh the slightly stronger individual stats, maybe from a player on a team that's not doing as well?
Exactly.
And then we see that playing out with Jokic too a little bit, right?
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
he is this triple-double machine.
Oh, yeah, he's a walking highlight reel.
Walking highlight reel. But the Nuggets are
underperforming a little bit this year.
They are.
Compared to expectations, anyway.
Compared to expectations. And, it leads to another layer of this whole debate, which is voter fatigue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Voter
right.
fatigue is real. Jokic has won 3 of the past 4 MVPs.
Right.
So are voters going to be hesitant
Yeah.
to give it to him again?
At
even
least
if
the stats are still there.
even if he's
It's tough.
deserving it.
Remember when Shaq gave him that championship belt
Oh, yeah.
for the Big Man Alliance?
The Big Man Alliance, that was...
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
kind of shows you he's already at that level where
Yeah.
he's getting recognized.
He's got the respect. He's got the accolades.
Exactly. And it's what more can you do
Yeah.
at a certain point?
So how do we even begin to
Yeah.
compare these two guys?
That's the question, isn't it?
Where do we start?
Yeah, where do we start?
Yeah.
You got to look at the numbers, right?
Yeah.
You sent me all this stuff.
Yeah.
All these breakdowns.
Yeah.
Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks.
Shooting percentages.
Shooting percentages. They're both excelling, but in different ways.
Yeah. And that's where it gets interesting.
Because, on the surface, you see SGA averaging over 31 points a game.
Right.
Leading the league, and you think, okay, scoring champ, right?
Right.
But then you look at Jokic's per 36-minute stats, and it's hold on.
Yeah.
Is he even more efficient?
Right, because he sits out a lot of fourth quarters,
Yeah.
when they're blowing teams out or getting blown out.
Right.
So if you kind of extrapolated his stats to match SGA's minutes, I mean, his scoring would probably be even crazier.
Yeah, so you're saying raw scoring averages don't tell the whole story.
No, they don't. They don't.
And then you see that in other areas, too, like rebounds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jokic is averaging over 13 boards a game.
That's crazy.
Which is insane.
For a center.
For anybody.
Yeah, for anybody.
Let alone a center who's also orchestrating the offense.
And passing the ball.
Like, he is.
Yeah, it's wild.
And SGA, averaging a respectable 5.3 rebounds for a guard.
Right.
But he's not battling in the paint like Jokic is every night.
Right. I mean, he's doing his thing on the boards, but it's a different beast.
It's a different beast. And then you get to assist, and it's like,
oh,
Jokic again.
Here we go again.
Averaging over 10 a game.
It's like a point guard in a center's body.
I mean, that kind of playmaking is invaluable.
Yeah.
Especially in today's NBA.
Definitely in today's NBA, you need guys
ball movement
who can move the ball
it's
and make plays for others. And I mean, he's a master at it.
It's true. SGA's assist numbers have also improved a lot. I mean, he's averaging 6.1.
Yeah.
Showing his growth as a playmaker.
Right. But, I mean, Jokic is...
But Jokic is on another level.
Yeah, another level.
When it comes to creating...
scoring opportunities for his teammates.
Scoring opportunities for his teammates. Like, he sees passes that most players wouldn't even dream of attempting.
Yeah, he's ahead of the game.
It's almost unfair, but here's a category where SGA shines, I think, defense.
Okay. 2
steals over a block per game.
That's good.
For a guard, those are some serious defensive stats.
For a guard, those are really good. Yeah.
So he's become a two-way threat, disrupting passing lanes, protecting the rim.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nightmare for opposing offenses.
Right. He's a problem.
Now, Jokic's defensive stats aren't as flashy.
Right.
But you have to consider his role.
Mm-hmm.
He's anchoring the defense in a way that doesn't always show up in the traditional stats.
It's true.
It's like that saying he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Jokic is always a step ahead using his position in basketball IQ to make things difficult for opponents.
Yeah, you can't teach that.
And, of course, we have to talk about shooting percentages.
Oh.
This is where Jokic really stands out.
Here we go again.
Shooting over 56% from the field and an incredible 48% from three-point range.
It's dumb.
It makes no sense.
It's absurd efficiency.
Especially for a big man.
Especially considering the volume.
Especially for the volume he shoots. I know SGA shooting over 50 from the field and 35 from three, which is still really good.
Right, still really good for a guard.
But Jokic's combination of volume and efficiency is almost unheard of.
Almost unheard of.
And you have to remember that, like, SGA also draws a lot of fouls.
Right.
So,
which helps his scoring.
Yeah, he's shooting 90% from the free throw line.
Yeah.
So even when he's not hitting, those contested jump shots, he's getting points on the board.
Right.
So it's not just about raw percentages, but it's also how they're generating those points.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we've got that kind of the statistical battle somewhat mapped out.
Yeah.
But you mentioned advanced stats earlier.
Yeah.
This is where I think it gets really interesting, right?
It does. And I think, the sources you sent do a great job of kind of breaking this down.
Yeah.
We're talking win shares, PER box, plus minus.
Yeah.
All these kind of catch-all metrics. And it's really close, honestly.
Okay, break it down for me. What are we looking at here?
So, like, for example, SGA leads the league in win shares.
Okay.
Which basically is trying to estimate the number of wins a player contributes to his team.
Okay.
So it's a good indicator of overall impact.
Right.
And it suggests that his, individual brilliance is really translate into team success.
Interesting, but you said it was close.
So
where does Jokic kind of excel?
So Jokic leads the league in PER.
Okay.
Player efficiency rating, which measures a player's per minute production.
Okay.
So you're taking into account everything they do on the court. And Jokic's efficiency